Hello everybody, it is Hyper, and this is Sonic 3 Knuckles. I have a lot of experience with this game, as you can probably see from the 100% save file I have. Well, I wouldn't say 100%, more like the completed save file I have with all the Chaos Emeralds, Super Emeralds, all that stuff here. I'm working on getting Tails and Knuckles done. Maybe I'll do a separate playthrough. Maybe not with Tails, but that's subject to change. Most likely gonna do with Knuckles though, because his pathway is a little bit different. I will be using save states, just because it'll make backtrack. Just because it'll guarantee that I'll be able to get the Chaos Emeralds. I don't know. I've always used save states for the special stages, and if you want to go ahead and say that that's cheap, I'm not gonna blame you, but guess what? I'm gonna do this how I want to. I'm gonna pause this a second, because I gotta move my window a little bit. And that's Knuckles. A guy dumb as a rock in the modern days. Yeah, in the classic days, he had the same amount of power to punch Sonic out of his super form. A feat that has still not been completed by any character to this day. I get hit by the first set of spikes in the first level. Oh, wonderful. Don't think I should need save states for the first few special stages, but I'm probably gonna mess up now because I said that. Okay. If you're wondering why I'm starting with... Okay, so... Oh no. Basically, first of all, gonna clear some stuff up. I will be referring to it as Sonic 3, because even though this is Sonic 3 and Knuckles, it was not originally meant to be its own separate... They were not originally meant to be two separate games, so I'm going to acknowledge them as one. Anyway, why am I starting off with Sonic 3? Gotta be honest, it's the one I like the most, and the one I have the most experience with, and if I remember correctly, my first Sonic game in general. Well, one of the first anyway, not the first. Unfortunately, the honor of the first Sonic game ever goes to Sonic and the Secret Rings, which feels sort of ashamed of. I don't know. Looking back, I don't like that game very much. There's some good elements in it, no doubt, and I can see the good Sonic game in it. But the reason I hate it is the reason everyone else hates it. The stupid motion controls that weren't meant to be there in the first place. I believe after Sonic and the Secret Rings, I got Sonic Unleashed. The Wii version, not the 360 or PS3 versions. I have yet to play the 360 or PS3 version. By the way, the PS2 and Wii versions are exactly the same, just like I bring that up. So are the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions, which is why I keep on referring to them as one. I liked Sonic Unleashed on the way. It got a little bit tedious at times, but first off, I think that people kind of over-exaggerate the terribleness of the Werehog. Wasn't meant to be there, no, but no, it wasn't that bad. We could have had a lot worse, especially since this is the second game to come after Sonic 06. Yeah, the direct follow-up to Sonic 06 would be Sonic and the Secret Rings, and boy was that a game to follow up with. Apparently they worked on Sonic 06 and Sonic and the Secret Rings at the same time, which sounded like a mess, but okay. Who am I to judge? I don't know how to make games. I want to think. Oh my god. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes I make stupid mistakes like that, and it costs me the entire special stage. Which is why I was originally gonna use save states, but when I test played this, I was able to get through the first 2 special stages without using them, so I thought, hey, maybe I can do it again. But no, I can't. Also, I'm gonna be heavily abusing of Super and Hypersonic once I get my hands on them. By the way, this is the only Sonic game at the moment to feature Hypersonic, which makes me sad inside for reasons that, if you don't know, then are you blind? Boop. Okay. Okay. Alright, had to mute my mic there for a second. I'm pretty sure after I got Sonic Unleashed, it was Sonic Colors, which I liked, but some parts could get pretty boring. And for the supposedly new 3D Sonic game, it seemed to be lacking a lot of 3D. It was mainly a 2D game with 3D parts sparsely. I don't know how to pronounce it. How to English 101. So yeah, there wasn't much 3D for what was meant to be Sonic's new 3D game. Granted, it was a good game, not gonna lie about that one. Just kind of would have liked to see a little more 3D, but you know, it's whatever. And of course, when I activate save states, I get the Chaos Emerald on my first go. Believe the Sonic game that I played after that, I like played for a few seconds from time to time, sections of Sonic Adventure 2. I used to love that game to death, but now it's just okay. It's definitely not the worst thing I've ever played, but when people say it's the best game they've ever played, I can't agree with them, fortunately. I think the first adventure game was a lot better. They both have aged tremendously though. But I like the first adventure game more, just because there were more of the different playstyles in that one that I liked more. Like, for instance, there were 6 different playstyles in the first adventure game, which I think was a bit much. And in the second adventure game, there was 3. I only liked 1 out of the 3. I only liked 1 out of the 3 gameplay styles in Adventure 2, and that was the stages where you run around as either Sonic or Shadow, depending on what team you're playing on. Not team story, but whatever. Same thing, really. I get that for some reason. Didn't hear the sound effect, so I figured. In Adventure, in the first Adventure game, I liked Well, I obviously like Sonic sections, and I like Tails sections because they're basically just Sonic sections, but now you need to get to the goal faster than your opponent. Knuckles' sections were a lot better. In Adventure 1, I wouldn't say that I like Knuckles' gameplay style, but, well, I wouldn't say that Knuckles' gameplay style is my favorite, but I liked it in Adventure 1, and I hated it in Adventure 2. I think one of the worst gaming experiences was getting into Death Chamber as Knuckles for the first time. That was like a 2-hour escapade. Pretty sure you weren't supposed to get that capsule like that, but okay. Probably should go over the elemental shields. The only elemental shield that has been seen to this day is the electric shield, and even then it doesn't really function like it used to. I think the last time we saw the why is like Tails glitching out? I think the last time we saw the elemental shields was in Sonic Generations. Well, last we saw the elemental shields. Last we saw the fire and light and electric shields, but actually it was the most recent we've seen of the fire and water shields. Or the bubble shield, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. The electric shield has been around like forever. But okay, so in this game, the fire shield, you're impervious to fire attacks, and you're able to do this little dash and press A again in midair. Bubble shield, you're able to bounce if you hit the jump button in midair, and you can breathe underwater. And electric shield, it draws in rings, you're impervious to electric attacks, which isn't really all that useful because they're like... Electric attacks are slightly in Carnival Night, but not enough times to make the electric shield super useful. And the electric attacks are also in Death Egg Zone, and that's the only area where they really come in handy, where the electric shield is really useful. But other than that, I can't really recall another area where the electric shield was super useful. The double jump is always useful, just because it's a double jump. Like, that part's obvious of why it's good. But the electricity imperviousness isn't really useful. The elemental shields aren't like a major thing that the games have been missing. It would be nice to see them back, but you know, I don't really care as much as everyone else does. Maybe because everyone seems to think that the classic games were the only good decisions Sega has ever made, and I'm just like, there are other good Sonic games too. Or I don't know, maybe it's because of some other reason I can't figure out. I don't know. Let's see this. Was there a giant ring back here? No. There was a ring, but it wasn't giant. Might do a playthrough of Sonic CD sometime in the future, but I'm not exactly sure. This boss is actually really hard as Knuckles, mainly because of well, it's really hard for me anyway, mainly because of his jump, which is slightly shorter, but just short enough so that way you're not able to easily get hits on this guy. But with Sonic, his jump is high enough so you're able to take care of him pretty easy. Double juggle with the Sonic in midair, which I had seen is a feature that's coming back in Sonic Mania. Which, I don't know why, but when I was younger, it used to be like a super fun thing to do. Like, most of my time in the stages would just be spent at the end of them, juggling the sign over and over again. Been open to doing multiplayer Let's Plays on, maybe I'll do like a Let's Play of Cards Against Humanity or something, I don't know. But with that, it would require my friends needing to, well, for maximum enjoyment, like them using their mics in like a Discord thing or something. Alright, I am back. And, see, multiplayer Let's Plays, now that my mic could be fun to do a Terraria Let's Play. I like Terraria more than Minecraft, so. I don't know. But that game would also be most fun with a Discord mic room with my friends and, well, my friends being able to play Terraria in general, so. I don't really know. It would be hard to organize multiplayer games in general, though. That's the big problem. Like, one of my friends that I wanna do a multiplayer Let's Play with is totally open to doing it, but she doesn't have a mic, so it's gonna be a little bit hard to get that one done. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Guess you can just, like, leave in the comments multiplayer game suggestions, I don't know. Also, if anyone says Overwatch, my computer has a hard time stably running that game, so that's gonna be postponed, for lack of a better word, until I can figure out what I'm gonna do. If the graphics quality is terrible on a future Overwatch video that I do, you'll know why. God, I'm like so close to being able to hit him from down here, but oh no, I clipped right through. What? Why? I don't know. I still have to get done with Mario 64. This was just a short, like, little side project thing that I wanted to do. Just because it would be fun, and I wanted to take a break from Mario 64, at least for a little bit. Just because getting all 120 stars isn't as easy as you would think. If this was Mario Sunshine, I would have lost my mind already. If this is Mario Sunshine, I wouldn't have one of my friends doing the Let's Play with me, so that way it would be like a co-commentator. I'd be having someone there, so that way I know what to do if I have a mental breakdown while playing that game. Especially during the pachinko minigame. Everyone knows what pachinko minigame I'm talking about. So, I think I'm gonna leave this here. The next time we meet, we'll end up in Marble Zone. So, yeah, like and subscribe, comment if you want. I don't know. So, yeah. Peace.